Welcome, welcome, welcome to the living room. Matt Redman, Patricia Hammond, and two songs, one of which is an instrumental.
That is absolutely right. Stay tuned. So we don't get many instrumental requests because, of course, Patricia's a fantastically varied mezzo-soprano, and I'm multi-instrumentalist, but we're going to do one, starting, though, with a song requested by Tessa. If you want to make a request, you can just go to patriciahammond.com/requests and just click on the link to PayPal. It's just £40. Very interesting song, this, Patricia.
Yes, for the instrumental, he's getting the whole whack because, if I'm not singing, that's nothing. I'm doing nothing, sitting. So as we start, Tessa has done something very interesting. She has given me £40 for Olga and Rupert, who have done wonderful, wonderful things in the past in Polish song, and whom we collaborated with. And Tessa this is absolutely an inspired idea. She has requested that Olga and Rupert do Szona Gigolo, or Just a Gigolo, in its Polish incantation. It's Polish version, also from the late 1920s, on their channel, which we will link below. And if you can't find it, just go Rupert Kirby. I don't know. Anyway, you'll find the link. You'll be able to find the link. Olga, and they do a wonderful version. Olga is doing the Polish words are actually by a wonderful fella called Marian Hamar, or Hershelis. He was born in what is now Lviv, very much in the news these days. And he was a satirist, playwright, journalist, poet, songwriter, and he wrote over 1,200 songs. He died, strangely enough, in Dorking in the 70s in England. And he was a Polish poet, and it has 3 verses. Ours is 1. But he has 3 verses, and it tells a real story. It talks about that he's just a young man he doesn't have any opinions on literature. He's never been to the theatre. His eyes are wide and tired as he executes the hardest steps with grace. He's a slender peacock in a smoking jacket, and when the music stops, he bows and vanishes into the crowd. Very poetic. Olga has done a translation of it. So when you go to their version, definitely look in the description for those amazing words of translation. However, we have the version, which is very famous, English text by the well-known Irving Caesar, who wrote words for all sorts of things. No, no, Nanette, T for Two, Swanee, Crazy Rhythm. And he lived to 101 years.
Certainly did. Just like Irving Berlin.
Yeah, true. Anyway, the music is by Leonello Casucci, who was born in Tuscany, of all things, and wrote this well-known... Well, it was Austrian, and then it went all over the world So that's the version we're going to do, is the one everybody knows, Irving Caesar. Thank you so much, Tessa. It's such an interesting idea.
Thank you.
me. When the end comes, I know they'll say just a gigolo as life goes on without me. Schöner Gigolo, armer Gigolo, denke nicht mehr an die Zeiten, wo du als Husar Gold verschnitt sogar, konntest durch die Straßen reiten. Uniform passé, Liebchen sagt Ade, schöne Welt, du gingst in Franzen. Wenn das Herz dir auch bricht, zeig ein lachendes Gesicht, man zahlt und du musst tanzen.
Oh.
German words by Julius Brammer, who died in 1943 as an exile for obvious historical reasons in the south of France. I cannot find out why he wasn't that old, but you know, given that you had to leave and become a refugee, yeah, I can imagine any number of things. So that was, well, we're going to have 3 languages in total, a real international effort. So definitely go to Rupert and Olga's channel, and thank you, Tessa.
Thank you, Tessa. And if,
Creative.
like I say, any type of songs of that nature interest you, I've said this in many other videos, but this is the first time with us, we don't just sing them, as Patricia's demonstrated, because there's a lot in old songs. You know, there's a lot in new songs. It's just that there hasn't been enough time to pass for them to make as much history. But certainly when it comes to some of songs from the past, particularly popular songs, they have all of these layers and they have all these stories. So very special video coming up after this one, because actually we'll have crossed 600.
Actually, the next one's going to be St. Patrick's Day special, isn't it?
Sure.
Yes.
But very shortly after that, we'll have crossed 600. So, you know, if you like stories and you like songs, then scroll back on Patricia Hammond's songs. Maybe it should be called Patricia Hammond's Songs and Stories.
Matt Redman and the instruments thereof.
Yeah, it's quite a lot there.
They're from there too.
So this one's for Jeff and Andy, isn't it?
It is.
And Jeff and Andy have enjoyed many of my instruments with which I've accompanied Patricia in many tens and tens of their requests. I specialise in plucked string instruments, so this one is a contra guitar. And in fact, Caroline was probably one of the top 3 most prominent Irish harpists ever to have composed and, you know, left in memory their oeuvre. And this is a Planxty, which is, you know, as many scholars will jump in and say, no, it's not, but it's actually just a piece of music, sometimes for dancing to, sometimes for listening to. But basically, if you think I'm playing a bit slow, it's like a jig dance, like an Irish jig, but it's a bit slower than that. I'm not a dance expert, I'm just a musician, so there we go. But whilst I haven't got the harp, I've got what some people might call a harp guitar, or in this case a contra guitar. So let's just play it on that one and be transported a couple of centuries back via the folk revival, which always happens when people play folk music. And I don't think I said that was called Fanny Power or Fanny Power.
Yes. Be careful how you accent that. Jeff and Andy's actual words were Fanny Power by Turlo O'Carolan. We would like to request this as a solo instrumental piece for Matt on the instrument of his choice, to be played with exquisite beauty, of course.
Well, that was the exquisite beauty of the antique 1940s or 50s German sort of contra guitar that I like
Bought
the
on
idea
eBay,
of. I like the idea
very
of.
cheaply.
But basically, as you
Needed
can see, it's got
endless
18
repairs.
strings. So basically, every time it develops a new rattle. Don't know how much that came across, but I hope that didn't interfere with the beauty and where I was going with that one. But we're just doing 2 songs for you today. Like I say, join us for a special, a bit more of an Irish special coming up later, and a very special one next week.
Yes.
Very.
Very.
See you later. Thank you so much.